My name is Timothy Will. I am the co-founder and co-president of Rowan, North Carolina Rowan County Anime Group. Um, and now the other co-president, Robert Allen, is going to ask me some questions.
By the way, welcome to the 20th podcast of the NC Rowan County Anime Group.
20 podcasts. Very good.
And reason why I'm out of the picture, I wanted to show Tim for this one, and so I'm going to be talking. You're not going to be able to see me on this one. Hey Tim, what was the first convention you ever went to?
My first convention was the now defunct TallyCon. It was in the 1980s in Tallahassee, Florida. It only lasted, I think, 4 or 5 years. At that convention, I met Ben Bova, who was the editor of Omni Magazine. I actually got to shake his hand.
Oh, really? I have seen Ben Bova on Sci-Fi Buzz back in the 1990s myself. Who did you room with at the time? Because you were in college, wasn't it?
No, that was before I went to Florida State. I was still at Tallahassee Community College. At Florida State University, I roomed with Carl McCaskey, who is, I mean, he was the best guy, the best roommate I ever had, other than my wife, of course. We got along great. We had similar tastes in music, everything. And he was a great guy. And he's just now getting into anime. It's amazing. For the longest time, he was not really interested in anime. And now he's getting into anime. I think it's kind of hilarious.
What was one of your favorite moments in anime that you liked standing out?
Oh, one of my favorite moments in anime? I think my favorite moment, I've got two in my mind, and I guess this marks me as a sentimental old fool.
I don't think so.
The first was in Maison Ikoku, the proposal, when Godai proposes to Kyoko, and I can't even think about that scene without getting choked up. It was just so beautiful. When he says, I promise I'll make you happy, and she says, just promise me one thing. Even if it's just one day, live longer than me. I don't think I can go through that again.
Yeah.
And the other is at the very end of the first El Hazard OVA, when the music, the closing music starts up, and you see Ifurita standing there on the ball field, and Makoto appears, and she runs toward him. It's just such a beautiful, moving scene. I mean, you have to really have a heart of stone to watch either of these two scenes without crying. They're just so beautiful. And I guess you could say those are some of my favorite. Those are some of my favorite animes as well. Those are some of my favorite animes. What I liked especially about Maison Ikoku was that you could have done it live action. Everything, of course, except the dog. There's no way you could get a dog that ugly or that sounded that way. You would have to have the dog done the same way they did Scooby-Doo in the Scooby-Doo movie with CG, because there's just no dog that's that ugly in real life. But it was just, there was no magic, no robots, no flying saucers, no time travel. It was a straight romantic comedy. Straight down. I mean, you could have filmed it live action, and I think they did. They did at least 2 live action versions of Maison Ikoku.
I'll go and try to see on the internet if they did or not.
I know they did at least one, and I think they did a second.
I heard of a third one time, but like I said,
Yeah, it's a question, but
about that
the
one.
thing is that none of the live action stayed with with either the manga or the anime.
True.
They veered off, kind of like what happened with Death Note and you have the Death Note the Death Note manga, the Death Note anime, which is very close to the Death Note manga, and then you have the Death Note movie, which veers off from the anime.
Well, we're going to have to end it here. We're going to be running out of time. Tim, thank you very much, and
my pleasure.
We'll be meeting you at our June meeting.
Our June meeting, which will be the third Saturday of June. I'm not sure exactly when
17th,
that is.
17th, I think.
Well, I think you're right. Yes. No, wait a minute. No, it can't be. Because July 4th is a Sunday. Wait a minute. That would be July. Our July meeting will be the 17th. You're right.
And we're going in our thing.
I'm getting old.
Hey, don't you even go into that area.
I'm having a senior moment, folks. Sorry.
Don't
That's
even
what happens when you're approaching 5-0.
Hey, I'm almost getting there. I'll be there before you.
Yeah, you'll be there before me.
Our next showing will be The Great Teacher Onizuka. Until then, have a nice day and take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.